My parents took us on the Appalachian Trail when I was 5, on a 10-mile overnight. It was hilarious. I had a little Army surplus knapsack, which held my youngest brother. He was 7, I was 5. The other brother would have been 10 and 12, and my parents. And the two youngest, we had to share sleeping bags. I shared with one of my older brothers, and we had these little Army surplus knapsacks with rags for padding. And these boots, which in hindsight we should have been in tennis shoes probably, but and I don't know how they got us to go 10 miles, but by God I was going to keep up with my brothers. We got there and all the Boy Scouts had taken the lean-to shelters that were there that had the wire mesh, and so one of my 7-year-old brother and my mother slept up in that, and the rest of us were on the floor. They proceeded to tell me scary stories all night long until I was so tired I didn't care anymore. I'm like, wild man of the woods, you can eat me. Meanwhile, a bear actually walks in and walks over us. So then they got scared. The next morning, we're all down at the spring getting water, and a bear jumps on one of my brother's backs, a cub. My father, who was not a noted baseball player, but picked up a rock and threw it at his son and the bear, fortunately hitting the bear, squealed off, and we're like, we better get out of here before the mama bear shows up. Oh, it was a wild sense of adventure. It was beautiful. It was a sense of adventure. It was kind of like, you know, being Daniel Boone or being a Native American, or, you know, I went through a whole live off the land, I know more about wild foods kind of thing. I was like, well, there has to be a way to do better gear for this. But it was really my interest in business transforming how people lived, because my parents were doctors. And so the fact that the outdoor industry also has a greater sense of itself. I mean, we all have to sell things, and business does affect how people live. So it's been great to watch how that transitions, and it's been a great journey.